Nagham Alsamari. Time to exhale. Time to exhale. Nagham Alsamari.
Let's get started this way. Take a deep breath with me. Hold it. Now let it out. Let your shoulders relax. And let everything else go. What are you letting go of tonight? Sadness, anger, problems, whatever it is, let it out. You know, when we go through things, we tell each other to breathe. Because we want strength, we want energy, we want something to do, right? To distract our minds. So we breathe. It's easy to breathe. But you know what's not easy? Exhale. Let it out. In exhalation, you actually learn to be strong. Because you know what you're doing along the way is you're letting a lot of things out. Let me explain. I grew up running away from city to city in Iraq. One of these cities that I landed in with my family at the age of 8 was in a small town in the city of Samawa, and it was an abandoned school. We were safe, great, we were going to settle down for a little bit, but I was jumping up and down because it was a school. I was so happy. I love school. Even if it was abandoned. But there was my mother's voice inside of my head and actually standing right in front of me, telling me and every other kid that was in there with their families, don't touch anything. This is not ours. Respect does not demand an audience. And as I stood there watching her, listening to her, I was going like this. As soon as she finished, I went and touched everything there was to be touched. Come on. I was a kid in a candy store. Although it was covered in dust, but I found them. I found books, you guys. That was a precious thing for me. I started going through the stuff. I called the other kids. We put some desks up, and I stood right in front of them, held one book in my hand. I was their teacher, proudly. I opened a book and I started reading. It was a poem that I read. And as soon as I started reading, the words started escaping my mouth, and so did the tears coming right down my eyes. Because as I was reading, I looked around and I realized I don't have a home. And that made it realistic for me. Later that afternoon, I was with my mom at the river. They were washing things. I was just jumping up and down, and I saw them, the soldiers, again. Saddam's soldiers, that is. They're coming across the bridge, and that meant that's our signal to leave. So, packed up our truck, and we ran away again, onto another city, onto a different story. Now, years later, we ended up in a desert refugee camp in Saudi Arabia, which was its own full of surprises, because you have to learn to live in this new way. Not just no power and, no water. The tents bursting in flames every so often, and sandstorms, and all of this was new. And then coming to the United States, I felt like a 13-year-old adult because I've already endured so much in my life. And now I have to translate not only just to my parents during their appointments, but to the entire neighborhood. How amazing was that? I felt like I lost my childhood. I felt like I jumped from being a baby right to being an adult. It is so easy to get carried away with these thoughts, isn't it? If you think about a challenge in your life, you can get weighed down with it, right? The more you think about it, the more you ruminate, it just drags you down. Then what's next? Where is up in that situation? This is when I realized I could get dragged down. I could stay down, but I'm not going to get life do that to me. Instead, I developed the philosophy of love, learn, and lead, or let go. So this is what I've been doing. Love the experience that you're going through, whatever the challenge is. Learn from it, because there is something to be learned from everything you go through in life. And lead. We are not selfish, ladies and gentlemen. We have to teach and help and share our stories so we can all rise up together. And let go. That one is the hardest, isn't it? Because no matter how hard, you still have to let go of this. Now, today, I think about all these things and other stories that I've been through. I think about them as memories. They're memories, they're lessons, they're things to help me go to the next step and grow from. They're not going to weigh me down. And I ask you to do this with me. I want you to take a breath and hold it. Do this with me. Now breathe normally. I guarantee you this right now. Every one of you, before you took that clean, fresh breath of air, you had to actually exhale. Do you know why? Because even fresh air gets stale when it stays inside. So you have to let go of that. And you have to take this and apply it to your life, no matter what challenge you're going through. So let me ask you this. What challenge are you going to go through? And you're going to think to yourself, I'm going to love, learn, lead, and let go through this. And I'm going to become better, a better version of myself than today, the person I am today. Is it time to exhale? Yes, it is. Tell yourself, take a deep breath, but it's time to also exhale, Madam Toastmaster.